recording. Alright, so this is 5.1. This is using slope formula to find the slope between 2 points. So the formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now you can switch those around. You can use y1 first minus y2 and x1 minus x2. Either way, they both are equivalent. The main thing is you're using the first coordinates, x and y, first, and the second coordinate second. You choose whichever one you want. Alright, so number 11. We're going to look at, first, I would label your coordinates. So you have your x, y, and then each coordinate, the little subscript, is actually telling us which coordinate we're talking about. So 1, 1 here, that coordinate I'm going to say is the first coordinate. I'm going to put a little subscript 1, so that's all that means, is that's the first coordinate. And 4, 3 is your second coordinate then. So going to the formula y2 minus y1, we're going to do y2 subtracting y1. Ooh, didn't want to do that. Minus y1 divided by x2 subtracting from the formula x1. Simplify your numerator. 3 minus 1 is 2. Simplify the denominator. 4 minus 1 is 3. Now we're going to look at our result here, 2/3. Can we reduce that? So can you divide the 2 and 3 by the same number? Nothing besides 1. So that is in reduced form. So 2/3 is your slope. All right, looking at number 12. So x1, y1, x2, y2. So negative 2 minus 4, 10, subtracting negative 2. Remember, from the formula you have a subtraction, so you have to put that in. So in the numerator we have negative 2 minus 4 is negative 6. In the denominator, 10 minus a negative, so you could think of it as opposite of a negative 2 is positive, so that's plus. So it's 10 plus 2 is 12. Negative 6/12 can be reduced. We're going to divide the numerator and denominator by 6. Negative 6 divided by 6 is negative 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Negative 1/2 would be your answer. Number 13. Label them. Label each. So xy, xy. You have subscript 1, that's your first coordinate. Subscript 2, that's your second coordinate. So y2 subtracting y1. x2 subtracting x1. Negative 5 minus 5 is negative 10. Negative 8 minus a negative plus negative 4. Two negatives divide to be positive. And then 10 divided by 4, you can divide the numerator and denominator by 2. You get 5 halves, or 5 over 2. xy, xy. Second coordinate, first coordinate. So we get 4 minus 0, negative 2 minus 10. 4 minus 0 is 4. Negative 2 minus 10 is negative 12. Let's reduce this so we can divide numerator by 4. You get 1. 12 divided by 4 is 3. Now the negative's in the denominator. You can certainly keep it in the denominator, but typically when we say this fraction, we would move the negative up to the numerator. So it'd be a negative 1/3, or you can put it out in front. So either one of these three, I'm good with an answer. All right, 15. xy, label. So we have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 0 divided by negative 2. You can take 0 and divide it up. Everybody gets 0. Or everything gets 0. So 0 divided by negative 2 is 0. Number 16. Label them, substitute them into the formula. You get negative 3 divided by 0. In math, we cannot divide by 0. You cannot divide anything ever by 0. You always have to divide by something, or by a number besides 0. You cannot divide by 0. It's not mathematically possible, so this would be undefined. It would be the best math term you could use, but if you forget that on a test and you say no slope, I'm good with that also. 17. Label xy, xy. Label your first coordinates, your second coordinate. Subtract your y's, subtract your x's in the same order. 3 minus 9 is negative 6. 2 minus the negative, opposite of negative 1 is positive, so that's 3. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. Label. First coordinate, second coordinate. Negative 2 minus 13, 6 minus negative 4. Negative 15 over 10. Reduce that down, divide numerator and denominator by 5. You get negative 3 over 2. Number 19, label them. First term, first coordinate, second coordinate. 5 minus 6, 6 minus 5. Negative 1 over 1. Anything divided by 1 is the same thing in the numerator, so that's just negative 1. Negative 1 divided by 1 is negative 1. xy, xy. First coordinate, second coordinate. Negative 4 minus negative 4. 1 minus 9. So the opposite of negative 4 is a plus, so negative 4 plus 4 is 0 over 1 minus 9 is negative 8. 0 divided by negative 8 is 0. Slope of 0. Alright, sometimes we need to go backwards. So going backwards here. We still have our two coordinates, and now we actually have the slope. So we're going to label these the same as we just were doing. So start off with labeling. So first coordinate, second coordinate. And just start working it out as if you have every number, every part of the coordinate, every x and every y. So y minus 6 over 5 minus negative 5. But now instead of saying equals and we're going to simplify, it's going to equal negative 4/5. So before that, we need to look, can we simplify anything like the numerator, y minus 6? No. Can we simplify anything in the denominator? Yeah, 5 minus negative 5. We can simplify that. So we're going to do that. So we have, in the numerator, we have y minus 6. So that does not get simplified. But in the denominator, you have minus a negative. So you think of the opposite of negative is positive. So that's going to be 10 equals negative 4/5. At this point, we have it set up as we can multiply, cross multiply. So we're going to do y minus 6 times 5. Y minus 6 is a binomial, so let's put that in parentheses, because the 5 needs to be distributed to the y and the negative 6. And then we're going to also multiply 10 times negative 4. So it equals 10 times negative 4. Now let's solve this. So 5 times y is 5y. 5 times negative 6 is negative 30. 10 times negative 4 is negative 40. Let's get our like terms together. The constants, negative 30 and negative 40. We want to cross the equal sign. Opposite sides of the equal sign do opposite signs. So negative 10 divided by 5. Negative 5, y equals negative 2. Alright, let's work some of these out now. We have x, y, x, y. First coordinate, second coordinate. Start setting it up just like you did before, except we now have an x instead of a number, so we gotta just leave that as x. See what we can simplify. We can certainly simplify this numerator here with the 6 minus a negative 2. That's going to be 8. And we can also simplify the denominator. Minus a negative is plus. Now, let's do make 2 over 1. Let's do our cross multiplying. 2 times x plus 3. X plus 3 is a binomial, so let's put it in parentheses to remind ourselves to distribute the 2. 8 times 1, 8. Let's do distributing. 8 times 1 is 8. Get your like terms together, the 6 and 8, the constants. Divide by 2 to get your x by itself. Doing your opposite operation, you get x equals 1. 22. We're going to do negative 7 minus negative 4, x minus 0, and it equals 3 over 2. We can simplify that numerator. Minus a negative, that's going to be negative 3 over x minus 0. That denominator is x. Sweet. So x times 3 is 3x. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. And you divide by 3. Get x equals negative 2. Alright, 2 more. So you have xy, xy, first term, first coordinate, second coordinate. Y minus negative 4, negative 5 minus negative 3. Y minus negative is plus. Negative 5 minus a negative is negative 2, negative 3. 2 times y plus 4. Negative 2 times negative 9. Distribute. Multiply. Get your like terms together. Remember to change the signs. You're moving the term to the opposite side of the equal sign. Opposite of multiplication is division. Divide by 2. And you get y equals 5. Negative 7 minus y. 1 minus negative 3. Negative 7 minus y can't be simplified. Negative 1 minus 3 is 4. That can be. We represent negative 4 as a fraction, so we can multiply, cross multiply. So we do 1 times negative 7 minus y, and 4 times negative 4. You can distribute the 1 in, but that really doesn't do anything, so we're just going to drop it. Get your like terms together, add 7. A negative. We're going to treat that like it's a negative 1. Divide by negative 1. Y is going to equal 9. All right, come to class.